Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking perfumes. So, another Chanel perfume. I know I'm on a Chanel rampage. Every week it's a Chanel perfume, but right now, as summer is happening, I am totally swept away by Chanel. So, here we have Cristal Eau Verte. As you can see, this little baby is almost used up. It is the 50 milliliter version of the Cristal Eau Verte Eau de Parfum, no, Eau de Toilette, and it only exists as Eau de Toilette. This is a flanker of the 70s release of Cristal, just Cristal. That I do believe Jacques Paul made. No, or was it Henri Robert? Well, I don't know anymore, but it doesn't matter. We're talking about Cristal Eau Verte right now. It is a flanker. Yes, I do believe that the Cristal Eau de Parfum version was made by Jacques Paul, but the Eau de Toilette version, which was the only version available as it came out in the 70s, was made by Henri Robert or something like that. Yes, and Jacques Paul in the 80s created the Eau de Parfum version. This little baby, however, 2009, am I correct? Yes. So the original 1974, Cristal Eau Verte. 2009, I keep forgetting. 2009 was the year this little flanker came out. But it is a perfume in its own right since, and I will get to Cristal in the future. For now, Cristal Eau Verte continues the flanker leitmotif that I have had 2 reviews ago, I think, with Chanel number 19 Poudre, so you could check that review up above as well if you're interested. Let's spray this little baby on, shall we? So, it came out as an Eau de Toilette, 100 milliliter, and then also 50 ml. I have the 50 ml. I bought it 2009 or 2010. So, right after it came out on the market, I didn't give it much time, I didn't give Chanel any time to decide to reformulate it, because they always do. So right off the bat, it's a very simple perfume, but very clean. Again, this clean word that comes into play, which makes us kind of, it's an easy word, but this one really is clean again, just like number 19 Poudre. I think the flankers in the Chanel vocabulary equal clean in a certain way. So we have aromas of magnolia, white flowers, jasmine, bergamot, Sicilian lemon. But to get into the specifics, Amalfi lemon is in the top notes, as is bergamot. Middle notes are magnolia and neroli. Base notes, jasmine, iris, and musk. Like every good and well-known Chanel perfume, this one bites in the beginning a little bit. We do have aldehydes here. We do have something chemical and artificial in there, which is fine because we're used to it. That's what Chanel is. That's what makes it smell also kind of expensive in a way. Cristal, as you could see, is a very clean, everything is, it's all about silver. It's all about very, very clean. Everything is very clean about it. The silver print on the bottle, the very, very light liquid, as you could see, almost transparent. Light green, just a hint of green over there. It's a green scent. We smell out the magnolia. We smell out the oiliness of the magnolia. And I do sense... Yeah, I always say I don't really sense the citrusy notes, the lemony notes. Here I do. Because they're in over-opulence present within the fragrance. So, what bites me a little bit is that lemony, bergamot-y, what could it be? It's the bergamot. It definitely is bergamot. And the Amalfi lemon. Neroli. Yeah, neroli as well. Iris... very light, like it's in the base note, but you're gonna feel that iris only as kind of something that's rounding up the rest of the ingredients, so that powderiness is not really there. It's in abundance and mesmerizing, overpowering abundance in number 19 Poudre, but here it's subtle, it's whispering. It's just whispering to us, and in fact, The word du jour for this perfume is whisper. It is definitely a whisperer. It's not a horse whisperer, it's a human whisperer. Cristal Eau Verte is like a whisper. What does this mean? This means that this perfume is very delicate. This means that you have to lower your voice, open your ears, and try to listen. Crystals do not talk. Crystals do not live. They're just like a diamond almost. Actually, maybe this perfume should have been called Yellow Diamond, but I think Versace already patented that name. Why yellow? Because of all the citrusy notes in it. But let's stick to crystals. So as we know, crystals are perfect, transparent filters of light. And they represent like if I were to transform a crystal into a noise, a crystal would have a whispering sort of hiss. But not hiss, more like a something like that. But higher pitched, but whispery at the same time. So you would have to stay very, very still in complete silence. And the sound of that silence is the sound of a crystal, if that makes any sense. So whispering is the word du jour. It bites me. The cleansiness of it and the freshness of it, that citrusy note, it's literally like when you would suck up a lemon or a lime and the mouth just like gets sour and the tongue like shrouds together and you go like this. That's how citrusy this little baby is. But at the same time, it's oily. And I love that combination. It's perfect for summer. It's perfect if you're on the seaside. Let's put the camera a bit down. Probably not too down. That's okay. It's perfect for the seaside. It's perfect for anything that could be related to a lot of sun, but at the same time, you are not willing to go into that sun. You do not want to get a tan. You want to protect your skin from aging, from skin cancer and all that bad shit. So you are experiencing and enjoying the sun, but you're in the shade. And that shade is protecting you in a way to allow you to enjoy the warmth of that sun. Your skin will still absorb all the nutrients the sun is giving you, and you will produce vitamin D, which is necessary for us to live. At the same time, you will not experience the full power of the damaged ozone layer and all of the bad stuff that sun can also bring with itself, like radiation and so on and so forth. This perfume is that type of situation when you have acknowledged the fact that the healthy way of enjoying sun is from a distance, like a whisper. You're protected in your shade, but you still see and sense everything, the olfactory position of you towards the sun, and between you and the sun is this crystal. So it's as if you're having like a layer, a protective layer that enhances the experience of enjoying the sun in summer and maybe the seaside, but it gives you that consciousness of taking care of yourself, of loving yourself. And this is in general a thing that I like a lot about Chanel perfumes, is the fact that they really awaken the need in one person to love themselves. And I think loving yourself is an extremely important element. By loving yourself, I do not mean walk over dead bodies to obtain your goals. That is not at all what I mean here. By loving yourself, I mean respecting yourself, respecting the fact that your body is like a temple, not from a religious point of view, but from a purely physical point of view. Our skin is the biggest organ we have. And yes, skin is an organ, believe it or not. You got to take care of it. You got to take care of a lot of things within your body. You got to take care of what you eat, what you ingest, how you breathe, where you live, and all that shebang. Also, perfumery. Perfumes they cover up a lot of our senses. We see the bottle, we see the packaging. That is already something that attracts us. So visually, it's an appealing thing. We have the olfactory aspect of it, the smell. Also the taste, because as we know, the nose and the mouth and the palate, they're connected. We smell the food before we actually really taste it. One without the other doesn't go. And also, perfume is in direct contact with our skin because we layer it on our skin wherever we decide to put it. Meaning that also our organ, the skin, absorbs it and allows it through the pores to mix and blend with our hormones, with all of the things, the pheromones, with everything that is a connection between our inner self and the outside world. Everything goes through the skin. So perfumes cover up a big portion of our life. If, of course, we decide to use perfumes. But even if we don't use perfumes, we will eventually shower. We're going to use a shower gel. They're perfumed as well, unless you don't go the extra organic mile without any perfumes. But that's really hard. I don't even know if there really are. I guess there must be shower gels or lotions for washing that have absolutely no scent. But then you got to do the same with a cream in case you need hydration, and so on and so forth. But guess what? Even if you decide not to use a perfume, not to use a scented shower gel, lotion, or whatever, the food you eat, even if you're vegan, the food you eat has a smell. Whatever you ingest will come out of your pores eventually. The smell of the food you eat. We cannot evade perfumes, scents, smells. There's no way of escaping it. So, in the case of Cristal EAU VERTE, we have decided to use a crystal whispering to us through a yellowy green touch. Maybe green diamond would be then more the name, would be more proper than yellow diamond. Because the bergamot lemon is green. It's like a lime more than a lemon. So as we now have cleared up the fact that we acknowledge that this is sort of a protection shield that we might use in the sun. Of course, it doesn't have any sun protection screen on it. It's just a mental thing, people. Now we can start digging into the story of Cristal EAU VERTE. You're on the beach, you're in your shade, you have your big Chanel, hat on your head that's like covering you up. You have your Chanel sunglasses, black ones, Anna Wintour style. And you're just getting whiffs of this gorgeous beauty in your nose from time to time as the little breeze, that's out there on the beach just kind of passes by you. This is a type of perfume that is really good to smell on yourself while you're reading. The story you're reading is peculiar because, again, we have the whisper. This perfume is like a story written in a book of perfumery, of mythology of perfumery, of fairy tales of perfumery. So once upon a time, there was a little crystal, and it was a green crystal. This crystal was not very loved by the other crystals, who were so used to, the classic standard beauty of a crystal being transparent, trying to replicate as close as possible the cleanliness, the beauty, the pureness of a diamond. Crystals can never be diamonds. And the green little crystal, well, it was the furthest away you could go from a diamond because it was just green. And every time a ray of light would kind of fall onto the crystal, it would reflect, into the prism, not all of the spectrum of the light, but just a couple of shades of it, and it would look like, something like grass growing on the floor, and it just looked regular. Other crystals didn't even bother to make fun of it. They just ignored the little green crystal. Well, what happened one day? The little crystal, and this, don't ask me how it's possible, but it is the crystal. They can walk. It decided to leave its colony of crystals because it just felt too bad about how mistreated it was. And it happened to stumble across or upon a beach and a shore. For the first time in its life, it saw water. It saw the ocean. It saw the tingly reflection of the light on the surface of the ocean or of the sea. And those reflections were in kind of different facets of all the colors of the rainbow. And yet when the crystal looked into the water was shades of green, blue, aquamarine mostly. And it noticed that it had kind of a similarity to it. Noticed that it looked like the water in crystallized form. The ocean spoke to the crystal and said, "My, aren't you a beauty? Would you like to join me? And together we can cover the ocean with even more light." So the little crystal said, "Okay, let's do it. I've never felt so welcome in my life before." And since then, we have added one more layer, or it is said in mythology, in Super Dacob mythology, that the eau verte crystal added another layer of reflection of the light on the surface of the ocean. And that reflection is an olfactory reflection. It is the reflection of Cristal EAU VERTE. So every time you're close to the ocean and you're seeing those reflections of light and you kind of catch a whiff of that scent, you will be smelling two things. First and foremost, actually, a Peace Marine by Hermes. But that's for another day and another story, and I do have a story about that one as well. So stay tuned. And the other scent you will smell, the freshness of a spicy note, that's going to be Cristal EAU VERTE. And it's not for everybody, because not everybody likes that citrusy note and that crisp, crystalline clearness of that note. But for those of you who do love it, will definitely enjoy a fairy tale moment while smelling out this perfume. So that ends the fairy tale of the little green crystal. It's a sad fairy tale at the same time as a happy one, because it does have a happy ending, but the family of crystals lost one of their most interesting components of the family, the little green crystal, because it left forever, never to be seen again within the family of other crystals. So guys, I hope you like this little review and let me know what you think about Cristal EAU VERTE. Mine is not really mellowing down. It's one of those perfumes that stays kind of balsamic and oily on the skin, but at the same time, it keeps its crisp freshness and citrusy zestiness. It doesn't fade out. Like after the top note is gone, it's still there. So it's going to keep reminding you of the fact that it's crisp and crystalline throughout its entire lifespan on your skin. So guys, share this video if you liked it. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and leave me comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you wish to see more. Love you. Take care. Bye.